Hello all and welcome to today's Bible portion. Today's Bible portion is going to be Genesis chapter 32 and 33. And Jacob went on his way and the angels of Adonai met him. And Jacob saw them and he said, "This is Adonai's host." And he called the name of that place Mahanaim. And Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau his brother unto the land of Seir, the country of Edom. And he commanded them, saying, "Thus shall ye speak unto my Elohim Esau. Thy servant Jacob saith this, I have sojourned with Laban and stayed there unto now. And I have oxen and asses, flocks and manservants and womanservants, and I have sent to tell my Elohim that I may find grace in thy sight." And the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, We came to thy brother Esau, and also he cameth to meet thee, and 400 men with him. Then Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, and he divided the people that was with him in the flocks, and the herds, and the camels, and the two bands, and said, If Esau come to one company and smite it, then the other company which is left shall escape. And Jacob said, O Adonai of my father Abraham, and Adonai of my father Isaac, and Elohim, which saidest unto me, Return unto thy country and to thy kindred, and I will deal well with thee. I am not worthy of the least of all the mercies, and of all the truth, which thou hast shewed unto thy servant. For with my staff I passed over this Jordan, and now I am become two bands. Deliver me, I pray thee, from the hand of my brother, and from the hand of Esau, for I fear him, lest he will come and smite me, and the mother of the children. And thou sayest, I will surely do thee good, and make thy seed as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered for the multitude. And he lodged there that same night, and took of that which came to his hand as a present for Esau his brother. 200 she-goats and 20 he-goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams, 30 milch camels with their colts, 40 kine and 10 bulls, 20 she-asses and 10 foals. And he delivered them into the hands of his servants, every drove by themselves, and said unto his servants, Pass over before me, and put a space betwixt drove and drove. And he commanded the foremost, saying, When Esau my brother meeteth thee, and asketh thee, saying, Whose art thou? And whither goest thou? And whose are these before thee? Then thou shalt say, They be thy servant Jacob's. It is a present sent unto my Elohim Esau. And behold, also he is behind us. And so he commanded the second and third, and all that followed the drove, saying, Honest manner shall ye speak unto Esau when ye find him. And say ye moreover, Behold, thy servant Jacob is behind us. For he said, I will appease him with the presence that goeth before me. And afterward I will see his face, and peradventure he will accept me. So went the present over before him, and himself lodged the night in the company. And he rose up that night, and took his 2 wives and 2 women servants, and his 11 sons, and passed over the ford Jabbok. And he took them, and sent them over the brook, and sent over that he had. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint, and he wrestled with him. And he said, Let me go, for the day breaketh, he said. I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, What is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with Adonai, and with men, and hast prevailed. And Jacob said to him, and said, Tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, Wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there. And Jacob called the name of that place Peniel, for I have seen Adonai face to face, and my life is preserved. And as he passed over Peniel, the sun rose upon him, and he halted upon his thigh. Therefore the children of Israel eat not of the sinew which is upon the hollow of the thigh unto this day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh, and the sinew that shrank. Sorry, waiting for it to load. Genesis chapter 33. And Jacob lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, Esau came, and with him 400 men. And he divided the children unto Leah and unto Rachel and unto the 2 handmaids. And he put the handmaids and their children foremost, and Leah and her children after, and Rachel and Joseph the hindermost. And he passed over them, and bowed himself to the ground 7 times until he came near to his brother. And Esau ran to meet him, and embraced him, and fell on his neck, and kissed him, and they wept. And he lifted up his eyes, and saw the women and the children, and said, Whose are those with thee? And he said, The children which Adonai hath graciously given thy servant. Then the handmaidens came near, they and their children, and they bowed themselves. And Leah also with her children came near and bowed themselves. And after came Joseph near and Rachel, and they bowed themselves. And he said, What meanest thou by all this drove which I have met? And he said, These are to find grace in the sight of my Elohim. And Esau said, I have enough, my brother, keep that thou hast unto thyself. And Jacob said, Nay, I pray thee, if now I have found grace in thy sight, then receive my present at my hand. For therefore I have seen thy face, as though I had seen the face of Adonai, and thou wast pleased with me. Take, I pray thee, my blessing that is brought to thee, because Adonai hath dealt graciously with me, and because I have enough. And he urged him, and he took it. And he said, Let us take our journey, and let us go, and I will go before thee. And he said unto him, My Elohim knoweth that the children are tender, and the flocks and herds are young with me. And if men would overdrive them one day, all the flock will die. Let my Elohim, I pray thee, pass over before his servant, and I will lead on softly, according to the cattle that goeth before me, and the children be able to endure, until I come unto my Elohim undisturbed. And Esau said, Let me now leave with thee some of the folk that are with me. And he said, What needeth it? Let me find grace in the sight of my Elohim. So Esau returned that day on his way to Seir, and Jacob sojourned to Succoth, and built him an house, and made booths for his cattle. Therefore the name of the place is called Succoth. And Jacob came unto Shalem, the city of Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan. And he came from the Padan Aram, and pitched his tent before the city. And he bought a parcel of field where he had spread his tent at the hand of the children of Hamor, Shechem's father, for 120 pieces of money. And he erected there an altar, and called it Elohim Israel. Well, until next time, I hope you guys have a great night and a fantastic tomorrow.